Okay, we are moving along today and working in lesson 1.3. We're continuing just some basic algebra review is what we're looking at in chapter 1. So today, algebra expressions. Being able to write expressions, being able to work with expressions, being able to write an expression off a word problem, just some basic review here. So let's start looking through this and see what we can come up with. Example 1. What algebraic expression models the word phrase 7 fewer than a number x? Okay, so we have a suggestion of 7 minus x.
No, it's x minus 7. Sorry.
Now from the same person, I have a suggestion of x minus 7.
I'm dyslexic. It's flipped around in my mind.
7 fewer than a number x.
X minus 7.
Yeah, it'd be x minus 7.
So you're telling me these aren't both right?
No, just the second. Just the second one.
Good. 2 thumbs up. Okay, so the correct one, because it uses the word 7 fewer than a number x, you guys thought it through exactly right in that you have to take the 7 and subtract it from x. And so it is x minus 7. This 7 minus x is wrong. It would be counted wrong in Math Excel. It would be counted wrong by me on a paper and pencil quiz test. It's just wrong. Okay, so good. You do have to be very careful with subtraction, don't you? Now, that's not saying the 7 couldn't go for first in certain situations. It just doesn't in this situation. Okay, next one. What algebraic expression models the word phrase 2 times the sum of A and B? How do you want me to write that?
It'd be 2 times A plus B.
So I heard A plus B.
Yeah, in parentheses. And then let's do it on the outside.
I heard a 2 out front from someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it have to go out front?
No, because A plus B is in parentheses. And 2 could go either way.
Okay. Does A plus B have to be in parentheses?
Yes. Yes. Because you're multiplying the sum by 2.
Okay. It is 2 times the sum of A and B. When you see them saying the sum of A and B, that A plus B is in parentheses. So earlier, whoever answered first, they said A plus B times 2. Can I write it as A plus B times 2? No, I can't do that. It has to have the parentheses.
Technically, you could go A plus B plus A plus B.
It's equivalent. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but it's equivalent. So, okay. Are we clear there? Watch for when do you need parentheses. Not saying you always need parentheses, but this one we definitely did. Okay, so problem 2, or problem type 2, they're giving us a question, and they want us to write an algebraic expression. So it says you start with $20 and save $6 each week. What algebraic expression models the total amount you save? So you start with $20, you save $6 each week. Again, we're writing an algebraic expression. And this time we're modeling the total amount you save.
Oh, is it getting like $20 each week?
Yeah, you start with when you get 6 each week.
20 plus 6 W for X.
Okay? What are you going to say?
Because we're saying y equals 6x plus 1. But, I mean, that's more.
Okay, yeah, so in this case, so I heard 20 plus 6xw, whatever, and I heard a y equals 20 plus 6x or whatever. Because it just says write an algebraic expression, that does not mean we have to have the equals. Once we put the equals in there, it becomes an algebraic equation instead. Okay, so you don't really need that. You start with 20. And you save, which means we are increasing, so we're adding $6 each week. Now, I'm going to go with the 6W I heard. What is that W, though? Yeah, that is the number of weeks, right? Is it 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks? And so I don't remember if homework necessarily asked you to do this, but I'm going to do something that's a good thing to do, is I'm going to define my variable. I'm going to say, what does W stand for? The number of weeks. So let W equal the number of weeks. I know this question didn't ask us to do that, but to be in, always thinking, asking, okay, what does that variable represent? Now, is 20 plus 6W the only way we could do this? I mean, obviously someone's, it was also said 20 plus 6X, right? Which that's equivalent. Is there another way to write this, though? How can we rewrite this also? Yeah, could we flip those? Yeah. 6W plus 20 is also correct. And I'll tell you, Math Excel should be happy with either of those. I don't think they'd complain with either of those. Okay? Questions there? Okay, moving along. You had $150, but you are spending $2 each day. What algebraic expression models this situation? What do you think, Noah?
I'm going to be 150 minus 2, the being the number of days.
What do you guys think? He says 150 minus 2D, and D being the number of days? Yeah, that works. So I am going to define my variable. I'm going to say let D equal the number of days, 150 minus 2D. Is it wrong if someone used X?
Not necessarily.
I don't remember off the top of my head what Math Excel does, but here's the deal. If they tell you what variable to use, you have to use their variable, right? I can be lenient when I'm grading things, but you guys know Math Excel won't be lenient, will they? So if they say, you're spending $2 each day, they put a D there, you have to use what they tell you. So just kind of be aware there. Okay, so 150 minus 2D. Can I flip this one around? No. 2D minus 150 would be wrong, so we cannot flip-flop subtraction. Okay, so we're okay so far? Okay, example 3. What is the value of the expression or the given values of the variable? So on A, it's asking us 7 times A plus 4 plus 3B minus 8. And it tells us A that's a negative 4, and B is 5. What's the first step I should be doing? If we want to go back to the basics here.
Your parentheses.
Okay.
Variables.
Okay, and yeah, we will start in the parentheses, but even before that, my encouragement is going to be rewrite this with the numbers filled in. And I know some of you are going to be like, I'm just going to do it all in my head. Whatever works for you, but I would encourage, let's fill our variables in. So if I rewrite this 7 times A, which is negative 4, plus 4, plus 3 times B, which is 5, minus 8. Again, not saying that isn't a strong encouragement from me. It just, you make less mistakes this way. So now, if I do start my parentheses, negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So then that's going to be 7 times 0. We have 3 times 5 and a minus 8. Okay? And by the way, why did we start in our parentheses first? Okay? PEMDAS. I'm old school. I say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The more and more you guys look at me as I'm crazy when I say that, but is that how you learned it? Okay. Okay, so you have heard it. So many of you guys just go straight to PEMDAS, which I don't care. Here's my thing. Do you have a way to remember order of operations? Okay. So if you like PEMDAS, fine. I like my please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So if you ever hear me reference my Aunt Sally, realize I'm trying to give you a hint to use order of operations. If I ever say, what would Aunt Sally say? That's saying use order of operations. So, okay, so we did parentheses. What comes next in PIMDAS then? Exponents. Do I have any exponents?
No.
Nope, none of those little numbers up there. What comes after exponents?
Multiplication.
Officially, it's multiplication and division in order from left to right. So you do them together. And then what will be after multiplication and division? Addition, subtraction, same thing in order from left to right. Okay, so with all that being said, what are we doing here?
7 times 0 is 0.
7 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5?
15.
15
Minus 8.
minus 8. 0 plus 15 minus 8 is going to result in 7. That wasn't horrible, was it?
No.
Okay. Know how to do those types of steps. And do me a favor, don't fully rely on the calculator to do that. There is definitely an advantage to knowing what steps to do when on your own. Okay, let's try B. X over 2 plus y squared, and x is given as 1, and y is given as 1/2. What am I going to encourage you to start by doing?
Plugging in your...
Fill in those holes, right? Fill in the variables. So x over 2 is going to be 1 over 2 plus y squared. So I'm going to write that as 1/2 squared. Okay. Mathematically, where do we start?
Your addition, your parentheses.
Okay. Start with these.
2 divided
Well, officially, I just put the parentheses there to write the exponent. So really, this counts as exponents because there's nothing to do in the parentheses. But 1/2 squared. How do we do 1/2 squared? 1/2 times 1/2. And for the reference, how do we multiply 1/2 times 1/2? Multiply across. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. So now this problem becomes 1/2 plus 1/4. Okay. Now, what about 1/2 plus 1/4?
You have to have common denominator.
Yeah, in order to add fractions, to multiply them, we just multiply across. To add, we have to have common denominators. What can 2 and 4 both go into?
8.
Least common denominator is 4. Could you use 8?
Yes.
Yeah, you could use 8. You just have to reduce in the end. Okay? So if we go 4, 1/4 is going to stay 1/4. What do we do to 2 to make it a 4?
Multiply by 2.
So we multiply by 2. If I multiply a denominator by 2, I'm going to multiply a numerator by 2. And 1 times 2 is 2. 2/4 plus 1/4.
3/4.
3/4. Keep your denominator of 4. 2 plus 1 is
3.
3. Okay. 0.75. Is that equivalent?
Yes.
Yeah. Would I accept that? Yeah. Would Math Excel accept that?
No.
Depends on the problem. Sometimes Math Excel will accept the decimal equivalency. Sometimes they'll say, no, we want a fraction. I can't guarantee, so something like that, I would prefer, just leave it as a fraction. Okay, we got one more in this section. This is C. 2 times x squared minus y squared all over 3. And again, the first step I'm going to encourage, fill in those variables. So 2 parentheses, 6 squared minus negative 3 squared. And so when I put that negative in parentheses, or squared, I put it in parentheses as well. all over 3. Okay. Where do we start?
We do the parentheses first.
Here.
Okay, so officially we have to do everything in the parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I look in the parentheses,
There's parentheses.
what has to be done in the parentheses?
The parentheses.
We have to do our squares, right?
Yes.
And so my 2 out front's going to stay. 6 squared is 36. Now, notice what I'm going to do. It's minus, what's negative 3 squared?
9. It's 9. It's 9.
Okay, it's 9. Because times a negative is going to be a
Positive.
positive. Now, if anyone out there is saying, but my calculator told me negative 9, you have to enter it correctly for your calculator to give you the right thing. Because here's the difference, folks. It all comes down to how do you enter it. If I enter negative 3 squared, yeah, that's going to give me negative 9. But that's because I did the negative of 3 squared. What we're trying to do is we're trying to square the number 3, so I'd have to do parentheses 9, 27. 2 times 27 divided by 3. And this is something where you have a fraction bar. Think about top and bottom separately. Okay? What is 2 times 27?
54.
And 54 divided by 3? 18. I don't know if anyone did this or not, but you could also have done 27 divided by 3, got 9 there, and then 9 times 2 is 18. That would also work in that situation. Okay. This is some basic math skills, but it's stuff that tricks us up, so we have to be careful. Okay, problem 4. Should we skip problem 4? No. Why would I suggest throw out the should we skip it? Because that's what some of you will do when you see a word problem in homework. Oh, skip.
No.
Yes, you will. And it will drive me insane.
We're not skipping it, we're saving it for later.
Yeah.
And then you never come back to it. The only way you come back to it is if I help you with it.
We're just making the problems feel
Okay.
a little bit better than if we were to just say.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Don't skip the word problems just because you see words.
I'll see you later.
Yes. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. It wouldn't surprise me if there is, but it wouldn't, Here's my thing, guys. Don't just skip it because you see words. Sometimes the word problems are crazy easy. Sometimes they're hard, I get it. But sometimes they are so easy if you would just read it. So, okay, in football, a touchdown is worth 6 points. An extra point kick is worth 1 point. A field goal is worth 3 points. What algebraic expression represents the total number of points in a game given those 3 ways to score points? So, here's what I'm going to say. Stop for a moment. We're going to work on that part right there. Don't read the ending. Pretend that ending isn't there. What algebraic expression represents the total number of points in a game given those 3 ways to score? In other words, we're going to pretend we don't know how many touchdowns, extra points, and field goals the team scores. I want an expression, like x plus y plus z type of expression. Okay, I heard 6t. What's 6t represent?
Touchdown. The T represents touchdown.
Okay, so it's 6 points per touchdown.
Yes.
We don't know how many touchdowns, right? We're just trying to write an expression. So 6t. So now I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to write, first of all, let t equal touchdowns. And so that means the first part of my expression is 6t. Plus, what else?
1e.
Okay.
Or
1e.
plus e.
Okay, plus e. So what's e stand for?
Extra points kick.
Okay, so e are the extra point kicks. Okay. It's 1 point per extra point kick, so you can say 1E, or what's even nicer,
E.
you can just say E. Okay. What else?
Plus 3F.
Okay. You can also score a field goal. Tells us a field goal is worth 3 points. How many points or how many field goals are we going to get?
F.
We don't know, so we're going to use F. So F is for field goals. Whoops. And so 3F. Do you see how I did that?
Yes.
6 points per touchdown. I don't know how many touchdowns, so 16. Plus however many extra point kicks. Plus 3 points per field goal. I don't know how many field goals. Right here, folks, we just did the algebraic expression part. I'm not saying you'd have to do that to answer the next question, but that's what we're practicing right now. Now, the rest of the question is, suppose a football team scores 3 touchdowns, 2 extra point kicks, and 5 field goals. What is the score? The whole point of this is I just wrote that expression, right? Officially, can I use that expression?
Yeah.
That's officially what you're supposed to do. So 6T, how many touchdowns? 3. Plus E, how many extra point kicks? 2. Plus
3 times 5.
3 times 5, 3 points per field goal. So do the math. We're going to multiply and then add. 18 plus 2 is 20. 20 plus 15, 35. 35 what?
Points.
Points. Now, as word problems go, that was not horrible, was it? I can guarantee you've seen a lot worse word problems than that. And if you want me to be honest, yeah, you'll see worse word problems as our year goes on. Okay, but that, the point is that's doable. Okay, let's look at the back. On the back side, we're going to practice, we're going to review, some of you need this a lot, combining like terms. So basically just given the expression, simplifying it, cleaning it up. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. So as we look at A, 7x squared plus 3y squared plus 2y squared minus 4x squared. Can I clean that up? Can I make that a simpler form?
Yes.
Should be able to. How are we going to make that a simpler form?
Combines with
Okay, combine like terms. Does anything go with 7x squared?
4x squared. Negative 4x squared.
Okay. Notice 7x squared, and notice it is a minus 4x squared at the end, right?
Yes.
Always take the sign right in front of it. 7x squared minus 4x squared is going to be
3x. Yeah.
3x squared. Okay. What about 3y squared? Does anything go with that?
2y squared.
2y squared. What is 3y squared plus 2y squared?
5y squared.
5y squared. What is 3x squared plus 5y squared?
What it is. What it is.
What it is? Done? The answer?
Done.
Okay. Remember, if you are able to add them, the variables, in other words, the letters, have to be identical. Then you can add the numbers in front of them. Okay, B is a little different. Thoughts on where I should start on B?
Probably with a parentheses.
Okay, parentheses.
3K plus all the parentheses. Well,
I mean, the key is what am I doing with those parentheses here?
You're going to distribute your kids.
Remember that distributive property we reviewed yesterday?
Yeah.
So the obvious is that the 2 is going to have to distribute. What about this negative? What can you think of this negative as? It's like a -1, and it's going to have to distribute as well. Let's do all of our distributes there. -1 times 3k becomes -3k. -1 times m,
-1m.
-1m or -1m. Then the next parentheses I'm distributing 2. So plus 2 times k is 2k. And then it's minus 2 times 4m.
6m. 8m.
I'm going to go 8m. Yes, okay, so I wrote it as -1 in here.
Pardon the interruption.
-1m.
Teachers, at 11 o'clock, we will be rebooting the servers for the teachers' computers. This will only affect teachers at 11 o'clock. If you need anything saved, please save it now. Thank you.
-1m, you could also just leave that as -m. That would be fine as well. Okay. Am I done? No. All we did was distribute. Now we're looking for like terms. So, -3k. Anything go with that?
2k.
2k. And keep in mind, we're just trying to put like terms together, right? So keep the signs as they are. What is -3k plus 2k? Okay. So you could say -1k. You can write -1k for me, but -k is equivalent. Math Excel may not like -1k. It tends to not like those extra ones that you just throw in there. So just beware. Okay. We also have
-m.
-m minus 8m. What's -m? Minus 8m. -1 minus 8 is going to be -9m. Now, notice I just wrote it as a -9m, right? Since we can't, if we had said it turned out to be a positive 9m, I'd write plus 9m. Because it worked out to be minus or negative, I just wrote it as a minus. And you're done there, yes? Okay. C. -4j squared minus 7k plus 5j plus f squared. What you doing? Combine like terms. What are we combining if we're combining like terms? Do we have like terms of j's?
No.
We have a j and a j squared. Are those like terms? No. Are there any like terms? No. The closest thing we get is j and j squared. But remember, the variable pieces have to be identical. And they don't have the same power. So this one is going to stay the same. It's going to be -4j squared minus 7k plus 5j plus f squared. That was your trick question of the day. It got some of you though, didn't it? Let's finish this one real quick. Negative of 8a plus 3b plus 10 times 2a minus 5b. We see those parentheses, so in this situation, we know we have to distribute. What are we distributing on this first parenthesis? A negative. A -1. When you distribute that negative, what does it basically do? Flips the signs. So 8a becomes -8a. 3b becomes -3b. I'm going to write it as minus 3b, if you will. On the other parenthesis, we're distributing the 10 plus 20a minus 50b. Look for those like terms.
-8a plus 20a.
-8a plus 20a. -8 plus 20. Opposite sign subtract. It'll be 12a. What about b's?
Negative 3b and negative 50b.
Negative 3b and negative 50b?
Minus 53.
Minus 53b. And what is 12a minus 53b?
Left as
Your answer. Okay, your homework. I say you have like 5 minutes. It's in lesson 1.3 and it's in Math Excel. Okay? If you're behind, you haven't gotten lesson 1.1 and 1.2 done, make sure you get caught up on those. Lesson 1.3 will be due on Monday. As I said, you have about 5 minutes you can work right now.
Am I going to